morning, you Mad Monday Munters and Munters live from the Export Beer Garden studio. Welcome to the Mad Monday podcast. Thanks to the Legends at 4 and 20 Pies. My name's Tino Fasua Manaia Stewart. I'm joined by Hurley Farnworth, remote from the Eastern Bay of Plenty. And that intro was 6 seconds longer than it took the Warriors to score their opening try on Friday night. A world record 9-second try. That was one of those, what's going on? He's like, oh my God, he's fucking done it. Straight off the bat. And then, I don't know, it was like, to me, being you might have a different opinion on this. It was like when you nail a drive on the golf course and you know that you're about to duff 5 consecutive shots straight after that. And that's almost how it played out. Is that what it felt like to you?
Yeah, actually. So one time I won a Porsche for a weekend because I got closest to a hole at a charity golf tournament on the par 3. So that was the challenge. Just off the tee, it was closest to the hole, but I still 2-putted it. So I only got par, but I was literally like a metre from the hole.
Yeah, and actually that's another great metaphor for this game, because in the end we were only 1 point shy, 27-26. The DCE drop goal, the difference in the end, but it was one of those ones where we scored the last try to sort of flatter the scoreline a little bit. It didn't feel like 26-27, did it?
No, it didn't. In fact, I would. This might be sacrilegious to say, but it's the first time in a long time, possibly ever, about a Warriors performance that I've just gone,
Yeah.
You know, like, yes, the Warriors can play beautiful football and attacking football. Maybe not this year, but this year we've become known for playing gritty football, and that performance was neither of those things. We used to win spectacularly or lose spectacularly. We did neither of those things on the weekend.
And that's been our whole thing this year. I was saying at the start of the year, like, man, if you're an Australian fan and you don't follow the Warriors, it must suck when your team comes up against us, because it is going to be turgid. You're going to lose off what's going to look to your eyes like a fluke try. And we nailed those for the whole first half of the year. And now in this second half, I mean, I've heard people saying it's like, you know, it's such a long season, and are we potentially running out of troops? Maybe. When you look at the injury ward, you would say definitely yes. Rocco Berry goes down again with a dislocated shoulder. But I would say and we're going to preview the finals later on in the podcast, but I don't know, once we're in there, who knows? How many of these games have we jagged? Like this one we lost by 1 point. Who's to say we couldn't have won another one by 1 point? And I'm just sort of getting ahead of myself here, but I don't think it's outrageous that we could potentially tip up the Panthers in round 1. But the reason it felt like such a meh game is because win or lose, it didn't affect our standing in the playoffs. It was always just going to be the exact same thing. So it's like, should we have rested?
Yeah, that's true. And the other thing, I guess, is that Manly didn't actually play that well. Like, they had a lot of errors.
Nah.
And the camera was definitely focusing on Anthony Seibold up in the box, losing his absolute rag. Like, it was lovely to see, actually. You know, because sometimes they shy away from that on the broadcast because they're worried that we can read lips. We can all read lips.
Yep.
But no, they didn't shy away from it there, and he was losing it. And that dude looks like a heart attack risk all of the time.
Yeah, he does. It's the purple skin. He's got the complexion of Jason Hoyt, and it does him no favors. It's funny you mentioned the coaches, because when we used to commentate the Warriors, and we would do it from the commentary box next to the away coaches, and I was standing up quite excited about a game, and we were commentating. The light switch in our commentary box was the same, controlled the away coaches' commentary box as well.
Yes.
I can't remember who we were playing. I think it was the Bulldogs, Serraldo. And as I was getting so excited commentating the game, I leaned up against the wall. Just as the camera cut to the coach's box, they had the lights switched off so that the cameras couldn't see them. And just as he was losing his rag and the camera happened to go to him, I accidentally bumped the light switch, lit him up. He went apeshit, started yelling his head off. And I got it allegedly, accidentally, got it perfectly in time so that he was on the broadcast when he was blown up. And
That's amazing. Yeah, well, Di and I did a game once against Manly, and it was the one we drew after after Golden Point, and we were yelling because we probably should have lost that game. We were yelling, "Suck it, Manly, suck it!" as he was coming down the stairs just behind the commentary box. So he heard all of that. But here's my question for you, Manaia. Yes. Right? I think at the start of the season, if someone had told you the Warriors were going to finish sixth at the end of the regular season, you would have bitten their hand off, right?
How do you mean? Well, would have taken that?
You would have taken that.
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. But how's your physics? Because I've got a question for you. What does mass times velocity equal?
Force?
Incorrect. Momentum.
Oh.
And that is something we do not have.
Yeah. That is such a good point. That's what I was going to say. Yes, we had a rollicking start to the season and then sort of petered out to sixth is how it feels. You know what I mean? Whereas if you'd have told me at the start of the season we're going to be sixth, I would have thought we have a bit of a turgid season and then ramp up to climb into the top six. That's not how it's gone. And that's why I think it feels strangely deflating despite the fact that we are in the top six. You know what I mean? It's a weird sort of setup.
That's all it is. Yeah, it's just momentum going into the final. So, we beat the Dragons just at home. And other than that, we've just had really basically a string of losses. And no one is giving us any props as going into the finals at all. All the pundits have us as also rans and out in the first week. So, I don't know, maybe that's where we play our best football.
It could be. I saw a clip from Webby saying, look, we're in the playoffs. That's all we needed. We would have taken sixth at the start of the year. James Fisher-Harris, I saw a quote from him saying that everyone writes us off and we appreciate that. So it could potentially be something that works in our favour. The brackets are now set. I feel like we should take... Anything else on this game before we get into the next week?
There was a couple of great performances. I thought Sam Healy at 9...
Yeah.
Really stepped up, and obviously Wigan is a fantastic hooker, but to have that level of backup now is superb. He's a great attacking number 9.
I think he needs to be on our bench. I know Tamate's been doing a great job with that 14 jersey, but I think Sam Healy, the way that Melbourne would run with Harry Grant and Cheese on the same team, and they were just it was just no respite for the other team. But then
I guess the thing about Tamati is he can play, sort of about 4 different positions, whereas Sam Healy's pretty specialised.
And where does that leave Tamati if we're not playing him in that 14 jersey?
Yeah, true. That's a lot of money sitting in reserve grade. Aaron Clark, if he doesn't, I don't know where he's running for lock of the year in the Dally M's, but I can't think of anyone better than him this year. No. He is an absolute lionheart. That VB hard-earned index, which I have no idea. No one knows how they actually calculate that, but he was almost double the number 2 during that game.
Yeah, I always wonder who that stat is for, because the hard-outs who care about stats are following Supercoach and Fantasy, so they actually know what the proper stats are.
Yeah.
And then the average casual fan, they couldn't give a shit what it is anyway. So I don't really... I mean, obviously, it's just a sponsor thing, but... Yeah.
Oh, it is. Yeah, totally. So, but it must be based on something. Maybe it's mass times velocity. I don't know.
That's right.
So yeah, those are the 2 standouts for me. Tanner Boyd still, doing a great job as a distributing halfback, I would say, and nothing else.
Yes, but the other thing is, he missed a conversion, and that could have been the difference as well. I do wonder if next year do we just bring in a specialist winger? You know what I mean? We've been slagging DWZ off all year. Why don't we just bring in whoever has the highest goal kicking percentage in the NPC and just put them on the wing? And just go.
Well, that's what they used to do in the 90s. That's where Daryl Halligan came from.
That's where
Matthew Ridge came from. They just came from rugby union and could kick goals.
Yeah. I mean, last year when we missed out on the 8, I sat down and went through all of the games, and I gave us every single conversion, and I gave our opponent every single conversion as well. So if everyone hit every single conversion for and against us, would we have made the 8? And we would have. So kicking has been an issue for us, because I mean last year CHT was getting shreds torn off him for his poor kicking, and I do wonder if Like, genuinely, it could be the difference between where we finish up, like, in these kind of games, but then even on the table. And the flip side of that would be, oh, well, you've got a guy who's just kicking, he's not doing anything on defense. Like, yeah, we get a couple of those anyway, and they're not kicking. So,
well, do you move Rog into the centres and put Tane on the wing there? He kicks as well. He's very good kicker. I mean, Tanner Boyd's been a good kicker. I mean, that was a bit of an anomaly. He missed that kick.
Yeah, but even before him, Metcalf was missing a few.
He certainly was. Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Do we need to... I mean, this goes back to my long-held belief that we need to take the posts off the field. It's a completely... I feel this way about rugby union as well. It's a completely different game than the rest of the game. I know the history of it, and it's cool to try because you get to try and convert the goal and blah, blah, blah. I just feel like it doesn't add much to the game. I feel like take the posts off the field and it's just tries, particularly in league.
Totally. But that's why I think we should replace the league scrum with the group hug.
Yeah.
Like, I think, like, the scrum is a leftover from rugby union, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't do anything and no one pushes.
That's
but
it
is a thing because it sucks in half the team. So it is an advantage to the team with the ball, right?
Yeah.
But why does it have to look like a scrum? Why do they all have to stupidly bend down and almost lock together, but not really?
But not really.
Like, they might as well just link arms and have a group hug that they're not allowed to let go of until the ball is out.
Yeah, almost like in football when they're about to take a kick and then the whole team walls up. They're basically got to do that.
Yeah, you got to do that, and then the team with the ball just takes a tap.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to go through legs. It doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah,
they just take a tap behind the wall.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one to explain to people who are watching league with you for the first time. Like, why are they still doing that? You're like, because they always have. Same thing with the post. Take them off the field.
I mean, to be fair, there's not much point in a scrum in rugby union anymore either, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah. I will say the only thing that scrums do in rugby union is they dictate the size and shape of bodies that you can have on the field. Ox Chair is never going to play a game of rugby league because he does not have a neck and he is about 4 feet tall. Whereas in rugby union, there's still a place for those guys, the 6'7", 7 foot behemoth, Eben Etzebeth and that. Yeah,
but they need them for the line out, don't they?
Well, yeah, him. Yeah. But that's what I mean. Is like that's what scrums and lineouts do is dictate the body shapes. You look at a league team; it's basically the same dude 13 times across the field. You'll have one guy's a bit taller,
essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, even front rowers don't look like front rowers anymore. In fact, I thought that in the weekend because Matt Lodge still looks like a front rower. He has an enormous body.
Yeah, just a bit younger than he used to.
Yeah, and Aaron Clark looks like a forward, but even James Fisher-Harris he's quite live.
Yeah, the biggest example of that is first ready Eddie Jeremiah Toiava. He looks like a winger.
Yeah. Joey Tarpany doesn't look like a front rower. Yeah.
At some angles, Payne Haas in isolation, you could convince yourself he was a back. It's right until you see him stand next to another human being. You're like, oh, he's enormous.
You can tell how uninspiring this game was that we're into the weeds.
Talking about the size of Payne Haas,
the size of planes, yeah.
Yeah, all right. So we should draw a line under the regular season for 2025. We're now into the playoffs. We'll take a quick break, come back and talk through the ramifications of the playoffs for 2025. All right, Hurley. So the matchups are set. We are playing the Penrith Panthers on Saturday night. Now, this is my first point of contention that I've talked about already this morning on the Hodaki Breakfast Show. We're playing the Panthers on Saturday night, 6:05 p.m. The All Blacks kick off at 7:05 p.m, so there is going to be a little bit of an overlap. Now, it's rugby union, so it's going to be 3 scrum resets is all you're going to miss if you just watch, if you watch the Warriors. But I was having a bitch about it this morning because of all the times that they said, we need to support the Warriors for what they did for keeping the game alive all through COVID. And so we said, cool, can we have an extra couple of home games? They're like, no. And then we said, okay, cool, what about when you guys come over and play a game here in like Christchurch or whatever? Could that be considered one of your home games? They're like, no, that'll still be considered yours. We're like, okay, cool, what about if at Magic Round, could that just be, because we're not playing at home, could that be considered an away game? They're like, no, that'll be one of your home games too. Like, okay, could we have Origin? Fuck no. Okay, well, can we at least play at like half an hour earlier so that we don't have to compete with our other major sport? And then in this instance, again, they've gone, nah. They couldn't have even swapped us with the Friday or the Sunday game, you know? That's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it is. It's because I guess it's got to fit in with the next game, right?
Yeah, I know, but that's only an issue for the Warriors, you know, because any of the other Australian teams don't give a shit. So swap us with the Sunday game, or something like that.
Or just, I mean, I suppose it doesn't matter if we're earlier. Like, yeah. So if we started at 3 o'clock their time, 5 o'clock our time.
That's right, and then have a massive build up to the next game, and
they just have another hour of Brandy and Hindy.
Yeah,
saying the same thing in different ways over and over again.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my first gripe. Get that off my chest. I know Di talked about last week, and he's so right. Like we've built a reputation as Warriors fans of having a whinge. But I mean, I don't mind it on things like this podcast because this is just us. We are Warriors fans, so we're in here having a bit of a bitch and a moan. It's the outward stuff. But the thing is, they keep shit anyway. Sorry, Hurley.
I was just going to say, yeah. So, do you want to go through the finals,
Yes.
and we can have a little pick?
Yes, we can. Okay, so the first matchup, not chronologically, I've just got the bracket in front of me because I'm trying to see how this is all going to shake out. Raiders versus Broncos.
Well, yeah, right. So that's the last game. That's on Sunday afternoon.
We're going in reverse.
Now the Raiders, minor premiers. Heavily beaten this weekend, but played a second string side. Broncos, they had a win and looking pretty good. You got to say, I think the Raiders won't mind to drop this because they have a game in hand. They can lose.
Yeah.
The Broncos will absolutely want to take this out to stamp their place on the finals, if you like.
Yeah, the Broncos $2.25 to the Raiders $1.67. The Raiders feel like grand finalists to me.
Yeah, same.
It's obviously the first, so you would say yes, no shit, they're the best team in the competition. But it's even the eye test. They've just looked good the entire season. There's not really been up and downs. There hasn't really been a portion of the year where you're like, oh, geez, the Raiders have come off the boil, you know? And so I think they make it through.
Yeah, same. I think they do, but I think they drop this game. And I don't know if this is even possible, but I actually think this might be our grand final. There's something about the Broncos this year. They are peaking just at the right time. And I don't know if this can happen, but this could be a preview to the actual grand finals.
It can happen. So whoever loses then plays the winner of the Roosters versus the Sharks.
Right.
The Roosters $1.65 versus the Sharks $2.25. I actually really like the Roosters at $1.65. I think they're going to obliterate the Sharks.
I totally agree.
Yeah. I'm glad we're not playing them this week.
Yeah, and I think in the matchup, I think the Storm and the Bulldogs. I mean, talk about another team that doesn't have mass times velocity. It's the Bulldogs. They're actually having quite a similar season to us in that they are fading.
Yeah, I feel like they hit a higher high than we did, but you're right.
Oh, they definitely did. Yeah, they definitely did. But the Lockie Galvin thing's just been poison for them.
Who would have thought? Hey, who would have thought?
Who would have thought, eh?
So, yeah, the Melbourne Storm are $1.50 to the Canterbury Bulldogs $2.60. See, I thought that was quite short, considering they've got players out. Obviously, Jerome Hughes broke his arm. Pappenhausen, I think he's going to be out this week as well.
Right.
And so, I don't know, I look at that and I think, I don't know if the Melbourne Storm are going to win this one, but then, I don't know. If I had to pick one upset, that'd be it, outside of the Warriors. It'd be the Bulldogs.
I'd love to see it. Well, I think we all would, right? And you're right. I'd forgotten about that. But the Storm's got some real injury issues. Yeah. So them without Hughes, they are a different side. Yeah. So maybe this is the time. I mean, if you are fading in a season and you've got a game in hand like the Bulldogs do.
Yeah.
You can afford to start, to give yourself a little bit of time to pick that up again.
Then we get to us, and I got to be honest. Outside the Sharks, the Panthers are probably the only team I would want to come up against in the first round. I back ourselves against the Sharks. I don't think it's ridiculous that we tip up the Panthers.
No, and I think you're right. You said it before. I think it's going to be an ugly win.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be, and that's just what we do. And I think it will surprise people. And I think even if we do win, we will still, no one will have any faith in us for the following week.
Which is a good spot to be in. We have, insultingly, the Panthers are the shortest odds favourites in the playoffs this weekend.
The Warriors are the longest odds to win the whole thing from the top 8. I believe they're at $51.
It's worth $1, isn't it? It is worth $1. If we manage to get through there, we play the loser of Melbourne Storm and Bulldogs. I don't know. I don't know. I'm starting to trick myself. I sort of feel like this is how I think it's going to go. And call me crazy. I actually think the Bulldogs beat the Melbourne Storm. I think we might tip up Penrith, which would mean we come up against a beaten up Melbourne Storm. Is that the craziest thing that's ever happened in the league? I wouldn't have thought so.
No, and I think this could be the turning point. Well, obviously it would be, because this is our last game otherwise.
Yeah.
But I talked 2 weeks ago on this podcast about the fact, why doesn't this feel like 2023, right?
Yeah.
Why does this not feel like 2023? And it's just because of we've lost personnel and we don't have velocity times mass, right? And that's it. Because in 2023, that's where Up the Wires came from.
Yeah.
That's where the whole country was losing their shit. And what were we then? 4th?
Yeah.
We finished 4th, right? We were 1 win off or 2 wins off finishing 4th.
Yeah.
So it's not that far away.
Nah, it's just the way it happened. It was like a late season winning streak. Yeah.
Yeah. But if we win this game, I think the whole country jumps on the back of the Warriors.
100%.
And I'm happy to have them.
Oh, 100%.
Come aboard the bandwagon.
All aboard. Pile on top like those trains over in India where they got 300 blokes sitting on top of the thing. Get on board.
Exactly like that, yeah.
But so then we would, I'm just running through this in my mind. I think we would, if we beat the Panthers, then I think we'd come up against the Melbourne Storm. We then cross to the other side of the table and we play the winner of either the Raiders or the Broncos, which I think is the Raiders.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we are in the final against either the Roosters or the Bulldogs. You heard it here first. Bulldogs. I think it's us Bulldogs final. I've took myself.
Do you know what was incredible about? I saw the top try scorers of the year, and the Roosters had 2 of the top 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Who are they?
And they finished what? 7th, 8th? 8th.
Yeah.
Yeah, they finished 8th. And they had Daniel Tupou and Mark Nawaqanitawase. There we got there.
Yeah. Big bullet, that pronunciation. It's the, I think you said the Broncos, but yeah, the Roosters are absolutely humming. They're on the upswing. That's how I see it playing out. I don't think it's ridiculous that we win this. In fact, I'll tell you how ridiculous I don't think it is right after the break when we place our TAB hunch and announce the winner of our Supercoach Mad Monday Munters League for 2025. Alrighty, before we put a bow on this thing, Hurley, we need to put our customary TAB game day hunch. We got a $100 bonus bet thanks to the TAB. We put it on. If it comes in and the ACC kitty gets over $1,000, we pay it out to you. If you think the Warriors, I've been saying this for most of this season, if you think the Warriors are going to win, or even if you hope the Warriors are going to win, you might as well go Warriors 1-12 because we're not winning by 20-something points, you know? So this week, Warriors $1, Warriors 1-12 is $3.90. And so,
wow.
And the other thing about that is, here's why you put this bet on, is so Sunday when you go and see, or even the following Monday you go back to work, you can tell everyone that you run into that you kept the faith because you had the bet on, you've got the bet slip, you won the bet because you kept the faith. And so for that reason, it's worth sprinkling $1. And if you get access to $100 that aren't coming out of your pocket, it's worth sprinkling $100. And so that's what we're doing. Our TAB hunch is Warriors 1-12 at $3.90. We are all aboard the train.
We put $1 on to stop the dynasty because this will be the Five-Peat. and the Five-Peat
I can't.
is ridiculous.
I can't.
And it is the Warriors standing in their way.
That's a good point. The whole league should be behind us.
Yeah, right?
Doesn't feel that way. One last bit of admin before we knock this thing on the head is the Mad Monday Munters group has wrapped up Supercoach for the year 2025. Up for grabs was, it's funny you're speaking of dynasties before, or dynasties, a 2025 jersey, Warriors jersey, for the winner, who, drumroll please, has been the Slick Lions. That's Jeremy, who has won with a total of 35,409 points. His round 27 score, or hers, was 1,706 points.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever cracked 1,400.
No, that is match-winning shit. So congratulations to Jeremy and commiserations to the runners-up. France is Smelly. That's Michael. And the Honshu Hawks is a perennial top 3 threat. That's Chris. And I believe there's 371 teams in that competition. I believe that's the largest one in New Zealand. I don't know. Could be wrong. But
how on earth do you get good at Supercoach to be able to come third, top 3 every year? That's nuts. How do you know?
Maybe we should get Jeremy on. Anyway, Jeremy, get in touch. You have won the competition. You have won yourself that jersey. Now, we're more than happy to sign it, but we're also happy to not sign it if that's your preference. So reach out, Jeremy.
I know which one I'd do.
We don't want to devalue the thing for you. But congratulations to you and commiserations to everyone else. Anything else you wanted to cover off, Hurley, before we knock this thing on the head?
No, I'm looking forward to the weekend. You know what? You've buoyed my spirits. You've tenor buoyed my spirits. I think we might tip them over, not by much.
Yeah, I don't know. I've got a feeling. All right, thanks very much for joining us this morning, Hurley. Enjoy your weekend of finals footy, and we'll see you next week for another episode of the Mad Monday podcast.
Up the wires.
And Australia without rugby league is not Australia.